Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to play a tier 9 German, well, almost like a super heavy tank that I haven't actually played in a very, very long time. Of course, we're talking about the VK4502B. Now, really, there's only one way to play this tank, and it's you know, angle. Angle. If you can angle, you will perform quite well in the tank, especially if you are top tier. It's all about angling and just being, that is how you're going to be successful, is angle. But overall, I think it is a pretty decent tank. When you do come up against tier 10s, you do suffer a little bit. And I think a lot of people, I mean, I like the tank, but a lot of people are not really loving the tank now because you have a tank called the VK90, which is basically the same but in tier 10 and a lot better. So yeah, if you play the VK90, this is a very, very similar play style, but it is all about the angles. All you got to do is angle, and then you will perform well in the tank. So the turret armor is actually very, very strong at 265. Of course, there are some weak points, and the hull isn't too bad. Again, when you are up against lower tier tanks, it's not too bad at 208. Your DPM 2102. That is with calibrated shells just to up the penetration. You've got a 13.13 second on your reload, and your penetration is 263 on your AP, 327 on your APCR, and 72 on your HE. So the HE pen ain't actually that bad, to be fair. You've got a 460 alpha gun, 390 on your APCR, and 600 on your HE. But of course, you do have this thing right here, the tungsten shells. I love the tungsten shells, honestly, but just because you could do more alpha per shot, and sometimes if you've got a max roll and you use that tungsten shells, you can actually get quite a bit of damage. So I do love the tungsten shells. Your aim time 4.5, not great, of course. It is a heavy, and a 0.344 with the gun dispersion, pretty average for the kind of tank that this is. 8 degrees of gun depression. Of course, it is a rear turret, so trying to get that gun depression is a little bit difficult. To get them to maximize your gun depression, you do have to sort of go in at an angle to try and get the gun down at the side. And your top speed is 30 kilometers per hour. Excuse me. So we've got a couple of games. One game I've got as a replay that I've got from someone, which is actually very good, and I want to use it because it does show just how you should really play the game, or this tank. So here we are on Black Goldville. Now this game is not superb really in any way. Not a lot really happens, but I sort of wanted to use it because I do get some vital bounces in this tank against some certain tanks, and I just wanted to show it because I think that is quite important. But yeah, with the 460 alpha as well, you can high roll a lot of times. Not like high roll, but the 450 mark around that for a heavy, I still think is pretty good. So I'm not going to back up there. I see the T57 looking at me, and this is what I mean. You have to try and angle to be able to get your gun down. If I was looking straight directly at that guy, I wouldn't be able to get my gun down enough to get a shot off on that T57. So I'm just waiting. The enemy are 2 tanks down. We're 1 tank down. And now it looks like I'm not on my own, but there are a couple of tanks around here, which is why I'm staying put at the minute, because as you can see behind, you've got the Tortoise and you've got the Sheridan, but the guys in the town are they're doing their job. They are doing their job, and I know that there are 3 tanks around this side of the map. I think it's 3 tanks. So this is why I went for the push, because that heavy over there somewhere, he is now basically on his own. So there's the Caro. I do get shot from the Jagdpanzer there. That was my fault. I did angle enough for him to be able to, well, I just come out sideways. I didn't even angle. I come out sideways. So 2 seconds left. I'm not going to use the tungsten shells just yet, because I do actually want to use it on this Jag Panzer E100. So he's coming forward. It is a 5 versus 4. We are winning on supremacy points massively as well. So I just want to pick up as much damage as I possibly can before we win on supremacy points. Excuse me. So nice high roll there. I should have really used the tungsten shell there to be able to maximise my alpha. But I'm going to come out sideways. I know this guy's on a reload, so let's take the shot. And of course, yeah, noob me. I just track him. And I don't even do any penetration. So what a waste of some tungsten shells there. I might be able to get one more shot in. But as you can see, that was just a normal roll with the tungsten shells. And I still managed to do over 500 damage. So, yeah, good luck going through that turret. I thought he would have, to be honest, with the angle he was at. And now I do low roll. Just when I don't want it to low roll, I do low roll. But at this point, we're just about to win. We're just about to win. Well, we have now just won, and I do manage to get the block right at the end. But we could have done better there. Yeah, it was just a game I wanted to show you where if you do over angle, you can get shot. But if you do angle correctly, you can actually get some bounces. And I still bounced 1,600 damage there. So I still think that was not too bad. But this battle here, it has everything. Yes, it is against a tier 8 game, and this is why I wanted to show this game, because not only is it a high damage replay, but yeah, it's what can happen when you are up against tier 8s, and tier 8s do struggle against this tank. Mediums, light tanks, anything like that will struggle to penetrate this tank, especially if you are angled correctly. So it is Rockfield. And they have gone to the left side. Pretty much everyone has stuck together, which is already a perfect start to the game. Now, there's 3 mediums and a light tank on both teams. So the likelihood of the game taking part this side of the map is very, very high, especially as 2 mediums have already been spotted. So this guy needs to take the lead. He needs to take the lead now. There's 2 tier 9s. He does get shot with a bit. Was that a HE there? So he does lose a little bit of damage, but he needs to take the lead. There's 2 tier 9s, so he needs to go front line, take all the shots, protect his team, and hopefully get some a bit of blocked damage. So far, hasn't blocked anything, and there is 1 tank down. And yeah, the Rev's not going to be able to do too much against the VK. So he is pushing forward. There are quite a few tanks around him, so he does still need to be careful. And I like the fact that he pretty much just ignored everyone there to take 1 tank out. And again, I always say it, and I always have said it. No matter how many hit points a certain tank is on, just if he's on 1 hit point, just take it out. It's still a gun out of the game that can be still dangerous. I've seen people win Kolomanovs being on 1 HP. So just don't be selfish with the damage. Like that. You selfish boy, taking all that damage with the ammo wrap. But yeah, try not be selfish with the damage, and that goes to everybody, like in any tank. If you're level or you're even losing, or of course if you are a 7 against 1, then that might be a bit different, but try not be selfish. Take out the lower hit point tanks. Just take them out the game, because you have more chance of winning if you take tanks out. If you take more tanks out than the enemy team, you win the game. So it's not all about damage, but damage, of course, is nice. But yeah, it's all about winning. So far, our guy has done 3,400 damage. There goes the Centurion. And of course, there is the M103 there. And you can see the angles. I think he did get lucky there to get the bounce. But so far, 940 block damage. 2 tanks are now on a 1-shot. So he does need to be very, very careful. Very nice fire there. And now he's got to push forward. He needs this cruel twist to come behind, save the day, so he can turn around. And look, he's already knows it. He's already turning around. And look what that just did. Look at what he just did, turning around at that moment. If he wouldn't have turned around, if that cruel twist wouldn't have come when he did, then this guy would still be facing the other guy, and the other tank, and he would have been shot from this Hori, and he would have probably been shot from that T92. So a shot from one of these, then he'd be a 1-shot right now. So far the T92 is behind. Again, I love the fact that, you know what, you can shoot me. I don't care. You can shoot me. I want to go for the one shot, and that is exactly what he done. So 6,000 damage. He's blocked 2,100 damage, and it is now a 1 versus 1. But he needs to now decide what he's going to do, because you don't want to be chasing a light tank around. He's still got 3.5 minutes left on the clock. What would you do in this situation? Personally, I would head towards cap. It all depends on how good this T92 is. This T92 could easily win this game, but when he's just sat there like that, and then you get a very nice high roll, 575 high roll, yeah, what is he doing? I think did he get himself stuck? I don't know what he's actually doing, but that's now 2,700 damage block. Both, well, he's now a one-shot. He can still take a shot from this T92, but him giving that little bit of a ram there just slows him down a little bit. One thing you do need to also be careful with the tank is that turret traverse, because it is quite slow. Oh my god, how lucky was this guy? He got set on fire and he almost died right at the dying seconds. You would not want to lose that game getting set on fire after performing so well, doing so much damage up against some player that doesn't look too good. He got lucky there with that fire. He extinguished it. He used the repair kit very quickly, and of course he did win the game. So it is a tank that I truly love. I think it is a fantastic tank, especially when you are up against those tier 8s, as you've just seen there. It's not as good if you're up against tier 10s. If you're up against tier 10s, I'd prefer just to go and play a VK90. But let me know in the comments what if you like it, the VK4502B. Is it one of those tanks that you love, or is it one of those that you just hate? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.